The Nikon FM10 manual focus 35mm film camera. The shutter speed dial on the right allows you to change the speed of the shutter and also the ASA or ISO. When you lift up the sides, you carefully turn the dial. This allows you to change the ISO to the sensitivity of the film you're using. Now let's open the back of the camera using the film rewind crank. And you see the film rewind knob that I just pulled up. Now the back is open and the film canister goes on the left-hand side. It'll be secured when you push the rewind crank down again. You're going to have to thread the film on the right-hand side. Okay, now that you've got the film threaded, you close the back and push down on the rewind crank. Now let's get the camera ready to take pictures. You're going to have to push the shutter button and advance the film a couple of times because the first few frames were definitely exposed when you threaded the film. Now looking from top view, you'll see the aperture ring. The aperture ring allows you to adjust the amount of light coming in through the camera lens. All the way closed and then all the way open. I usually set mine at around f5.6. That's the focusing ring. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the camera. You're going to need to know how to release the gears so that when it's time to rewind the film, you're going to use that rewind crank. You pull the knob up and turn it until the film is all the way rewound. Once the film is wound all the way into the canister, you're going to take the canister out and bring it to the 1 hour place for development. Now this knob in the front, that's your self-timer. It winds down, assuming that you've advanced the frame, and takes a picture unattended. Now the button on the left-hand side, that's the lens release button. When you push that and turn the lens, it allows you to take that lens off and put another one on, or take that lens off and clean it. Those are the basics. Now here's where it gets interesting. You're going to put a lens on that camera and you're going to look through that lens. That mirror allows you to look through that ground glass and right through the lens, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to focus so that you line up that circle so it looks just like that, not crooked. And the metering system is on the right. Now, you have control over the exposure, the speed, and the type of film you use. Now, once you've chosen the type of film, you'll know whether it's 400 ASA, 100 ASA, or even 1000 ASA. Then you're going to have to adjust the shutter speed and the aperture. Once you've settled on the shutter speed, for example, you're going to set the aperture, and the aperture is going to allow you to set the amount of light coming in through that lens to get a proper exposure. When you look at the meter indicator, it's going to have a plus or a minus. The object is to get that red dot in the middle so that you have a proper exposure, unless you're going for a certain effect. And you'll get a perfect picture every time. These pictures were taken with a Nikon F4. That's the camera I used when I shot film. And personally, I really like film better because I like the texture, I like what you can do with it, and it's just a better look. But now we use digital. These pictures have made it to magazines and newspapers, and they're all digital. So for artistic purposes, I like film. But as you can see, these are digital and they made it to magazines and newspapers. So enjoy your Nikon FM10. I think everyone who shoots digital should learn how to shoot film first, but that's just my opinion.